Good evening. Welcome to Follow Everton. I'm Ryan, and today I've got Steve with me to react to Everton's disappointing 0-0 draw away at Watford. As it stands, Everton are now 2 points clear of the relegation zone, with a game in hand on Leeds, who also lost today 3-0, which is good. But Steve, focusing on Everton, it's hard not to feel a little bit deflated, losing. Not, I mean, exactly. That's how it feels. Drawing against a team that haven't kept a clean sheet at home all season, and have already been relegated. It leaves you with a little bit of a disappointment.
There was a lot of expectation and going into this match on the back of the 2 wins and the fact that we played quite well. And we started quite brightly, but I think it petered off and Watford came into their own during the game, and it was pretty much a 50-50 game in terms of possession.
Yeah.
I feel disappointed, but at the same time, it's a clean sheet and we'll go again on Saturday. And I think the Leeds result just kind of made it a slightly better night. Obviously, City winning as well.
I know. Without being too negative, a point I would say, and I wrote my description for this, and I'd put a disappointing, poor result away at Watford. And then I thought about it, and I want to try and take more positives away from it. And I changed it to Everton edge closer to potential safety, because I think looking at the points and with the 2 home games, I think it potentially does do that. Looking at the bigger picture, yes, it's disappointing. Watford basically played a reserve team. They were there for the taking. I think you should be allowed to criticize Frank Lampard tonight, and I will do. And I'd say I'm gonna stick my neck out and say we should have gone 4-4-2 and played Calvert-Lewin from the start, or Rondon. I don't know why we needed 5 defenders. It didn't.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
We could see it. I could see it. I said at halftime. I could see it 5 minutes in that we didn't have enough. I was tweeting throughout the game. We didn't have enough people forward. Richarlison was isolated. And then maybe it's okay, but Gordon and Gray, the end products, the lack of quality between the two of them, cost us today in terms of getting the goal, and therefore I think we should have switched formation, brought on another striker. But obviously Watford didn't have a full plethora of players, and we couldn't take advantage. There isn't an awful lot to talk about, is there, Steve?
Not really. Happened in the game. There were a couple of chances of note in the second half, particularly. But yeah, it was just one of those games. Ben Foster made a good save from Richarlison, and the only other one of note really was with Damari Gray, got through and shot wide from quite close range.
Should have scored.
I think that if we'd gone back a few games and said Everton got a point away from home with a clean sheet, you probably would have been surprised with such a result, because we were just losing every game from home. So, as you say, we've got 2 home games now. Every game is huge. The Brentford game takes on huge significance because a win could move us 5 points away. And I think that that's what we've got to focus on now. We can't be too disheartened. It is what it is. We can't go back now. We didn't lose the game, and that's the main thing. It's a point more towards safety, but it could have been a better sleep tonight if we were 4 points away, but it is what it is.
We've got to win on the Sunday. I mean, I think the point today means we've got to win. I think Burnley have got Spurs, who they did actually beat this season. We need them to drop points. It's unfortunate. It really is. That we didn't capitalize on this game in hand today against a really weak team. I think we should have just absolutely gone for it and gone 4-4-2. And if we'd have lost, we'd have lost, because I don't think
13 corners, Ryan. They had 1 corner. They've not had a clean sheet at home all season. So that just says to you really a lack of cutting edge. We actually did have 16 shots and 5 on target, but they didn't have any shots on target. I feel like as a result of their injuries, it was kind of a mixed bag Watford team, and maybe that was quite a difficult thing to plan for. But at the same time, I think this was a game where we just needed a bit more impetus up front.
I know, Steve, and it's difficult because he's probably looking at the bench and thinking, do I bring Rondon on? He's not likely to score, or Calvert-Lewin, who's not fresh and has not got much rhythm. So it's a really difficult one. I know there's loads of comments coming in from Sam, Mark, Kenny, Dave, Eugene, Matty, Jason. We're going to read them out because there isn't an awful lot to talk about in terms of the game. I've also got 2 special guests coming in now. Mr. Positive and the Everton Viking both joining us on this live stream. Make sure you share this stream because it's good to get the numbers up. There's 50 of you watching right now live. I'm going to bring in Jan the man first. Jan Dalf, how are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good. Well, it's good to be with you guys. Yeah, obviously. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Nice to see you, Jan Dalf.
Yeah,
It's comforting, but it's disappointing, isn't
It's a
it?
bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? I mean, getting really excited for it. 7,000 fans down there. I know we were all watching at home, but it was a little bit of a waste of time. I mean, I found more enjoyment in watching the Man City and the Chelsea games that were on alternative screens. And
well,
Everton
yeah.
was the most boring of the three of the games.
Definitely.
I mean, one of those is, obviously directly impacts our survival, and the other one is, well, let's just focus on us.
Directly impacts our well-being.
Sorry?
The other game directly impacts our well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's not pretend, though, that, I mean, in recent history, we can remember like Bournemouth and Sheffield United. Once teams are relegated and the pressure's off them, it's almost like they've got nothing left to lose. And coming where we're coming from, we didn't want to risk it and give them the opportunity. So I think more than anything, we've got to take the positive that we didn't concede and we walked away with a point.
Yeah, we didn't
I
concede.
agree
They didn't
to
have
some
a shot on
extent
goal.
there.
I don't think Watford looked threatening at all during that match.
Watford had nothing, and that was the thing that irritated me a little bit more, that we didn't make changes earlier. The thing with me, and I will bring Dan in a sec, just because I don't want to leave him waiting, and I am multitasking here trying to share the stream, was that it was Michael Keane and Holgate and Coleman building from the back, and they don't really have a lot of quality in terms of bringing it out. And then so you're looking for someone from the midfield to drop in. Thanks, Stevie. You're looking for someone from the midfield to drop in maybe and support and link and create play. And Fabian Delph, he tried, but there isn't a lot of creativity there. Doucouré, I thought, was poor. Didn't do an awful lot for me going forward. So it lended itself. You needed a Van der Beek or an Andre Gomez in there maybe just to try and get the ball moving and find people in the right positions. It's a little bit too safe.
They've got that kind of style of play that adds a touch of class. Well, certainly Andre Gomez, he might not have been the same since he came back from injury, but I think his sort of languid, loping style, it's a bit reminiscent of Arteta. Do you not? I mean, maybe not the same quality or proven quality, but he's certainly got that. I foolishly have. I didn't check the bench, to be fair, and the stream was a bit, so I don't know what we could have brought on really.
We had Dele Alli on the bench. We had Rondon and obviously Calvert-Lewin, Tom Davis. I mean, we didn't have a lot of wide players, and I think Gordon and Gray, the performance of them both didn't do an awful lot. There wasn't really much end product. Sometimes you get a bit frustrated with them, in terms of maybe they rush the final pass or they make bad decisions, and we didn't really have the options there. Yeah. Maybe a case for Dele Alli off the bench and Calvert-Lewin a bit earlier, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think though you didn't want to change something that wasn't broken. There were still signs that we could have got something if we'd have kept pushing. So maybe not to disrupt that too much. I certainly think though it does raise the question, which I don't have an answer for, of how come Dele Alli hasn't been the sort of the player that we might have expected him to be while he's been here, which is you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, I guess.
It's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
I would have thought we were saving money because I think it's like £1 million per performance.
For 20
but
appearances.
He came on as a late sub the other day, so I don't believe that anymore.
He couldn't make 20 appearances a season anyway when we signed him. So, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. We've got to pay his salary. It's a shame because I look at that and I think Calvert-Lewin and Dele Alli, surely that's a match made in heaven. Calvert-Lewin leading the line, Dele Alli buzzing around them, and then Richarlison and Damari Gray either side with Gordon.
Yeah.
Rotating on. For me, it makes perfect sense, but in practice, it doesn't seem to be coming. And the problem with Everton today,
I think we need to give Lampard time. He's walked into such a big mess, manager after manager, and this season, the toxic atmosphere that divided the fans, and the fact that the side were just lacking confidence all over. We just got to give him time to sort it all out. I'm confident that he will sort it out.
No, I will. I do agree with you, but I'm not looking at next season. I'm talking about right now in this moment. I think he made a mistake not going with a 4-4-2 and leaving the 5 at the back because it wasn't effective, and anyone could see.
He just scored, by the way.
5-1, yeah.
I thought that'd be a much harder fixture for them, to be honest. Wolves away.
Oh, we're always a bit negative. You know, we're always.
They should have had a penalty though. I thought Zinchenko was quite poor. And
hey Ryan, should we talk about the Chelsea game and this game, because they were both a lot more exciting than our game?
Well, yeah, let's bring in Dan to talk about that, because he's very positive. He's always got something good to say.
Shirt can go in the wash tonight for one.
Dan, it wasn't that lucky, was it, in the end?
No, I'm not so positive.
Never
this
seen
game.
Dan so.
No, I'm frustrated. I really am frustrated.
It's like a lead balloon being let down.
Yeah, because that was absolutely poor. It was just poor. It was. I'm not bypassing that and taking positives out of that, because that Watford team today for me was awful. That's the worst team we've played against, including teams in the FA Cup, for a very, very long time. And
even Boreham Wood?
Yeah. Honestly, mate, I think it was as bad as them. We had the ball and we never got pressure on the ball. Our defense wasn't tested, and even Delph looked really fast. That's how bad they was. Delph had loads of time on the ball.
In the first half.
Delph was the best player. He was the best player.
He looks nimble.
I didn't want to jump in there too soon and get to sort of man of the match. Not that there's really that many contenders. I would have said Iwobi had a fantastic game, and certainly in the last 10 or 15 minutes, there was a lot of link-up play that was, as has been symptomatic or has been the problem all season, there was not that incisiveness or sort of commitment to, I'm going to turn and have a shot now, which started to see, I think, in the last 20 minutes, maybe.
Why are our players not taking the chances? Why are they so relaxed? I said this before. Well, I said this before at the start of the game, Ryan. My points was, and I said it to Steve on the channel before. I said, don't play like the goal's going to come later. Play like you need that goal in the first 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, Gordon gets the ball, mispasses it, not clinical. We could have scored. Because when teams play us, when they get a chance, they score. We need to be the same. When we get a chance, we need to score. We need to make them pay for their mistakes. And a couple of times at the start of the game, Gordon's in good positions, doesn't knock the ball into someone else's feet where he could have just had a tap in. Same with Gray. Same with Richarlison. Wasn't clinical enough. But for me, the biggest thing for me was we needed a centre midfielder on that could put players in.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for
Andre
me.
Gomez on. It was a big call because he's not played well when he's played. I would have brought on Gomez and I would have brought...
We're so fickle, aren't we? I mean, 1 minute Gomez is the worst player who's ever to wear the shirt since Nyaka. And then the next minute, we're like, let's bring him on. Let's bring in Tom Davies.
But Steve, the thing is, what I think is, yes, players...
We had the cutting edge of a rubber band.
Well, different players suit different games. It doesn't matter whether Gomez has been shit for the last... all this season. If Gomez looks like he's got what's going to help us in that game, you put him on.
We didn't need a defensive screen, two of them in there. Doucouré wasn't doing anything. He wasn't effective going forward. I think Andre Gomez, it would have been bold and brave to bring him in.
Yeah, that's what I want him to do.
He needs to make one pass, slip someone in, and you score. The problem was, you're right, Gordon and Gray had poor performances. We relied on our defenders to distribute and create, and they can't. And Richarlison had an off day. And I think ultimately there's a little bit of complacency. You were right. The goal's going to come. And it didn't come. And look there, you've got 7,000 Evertonians in a small stadium singing for... I think we probably did them a bit of an injustice. But what can you say? I
can say a poetry review.
Oh, we would love to hear that. If you'd like would you like to go straight to this for us?
All right, I can launch straight into it if you want. I've got it done and dusted.
Fabulous. Go on.
You're not going to hold it back.
I've got my pretzels ready.
Oh, excellent, lad. Get them in, gob. We kick off this evening, lineup unchanged, but Mike Dean's the ref. The reason, deranged. Boys, Watford are wobbly. Their hopes have been binned. No wonder the home crowd support has been thinned. Doucouré's mild contact noticeably light, but it seems the officials have him in their sight. We're cautious, careful, considered and slow, but building up gradually, onwards we go. With incision and eagerness, Demi advances. He gambles and shimmies, dances and prances. The ball moves so fluid like liquid in glasses. We're building and probing with magical passes. A corner comes in and we're full of desire. Richarlison turns, winds up and lets fire. Holgate slides in, stereotypical strife. A stupid yellow, corruption is rife. Maybe a mistaken corner awarded, but balancing out, our efforts rewarded. It's nervy and messy, no prolonged possession. But come on, you Blues, justify my obsession. A defensive foot adjudged too high, gave Watford a foothold, and now, why does Mike Dean seem to think every touch is a foul? If we score, pay attention, I bet that he'll scowl. Demi and Miko advance on the left, the way to the moment, a considerable heft, causing us such attack and caution compared to our hopes and anxious distortion. A heart-stopping moment, free kick from afar, but thankfully blasted well over the bar. That's half-time. Chelsea 2 up as the next half commences. It's manna from heaven a blue god dispenses, but the devil blade still counters keen and channels through the officiating team. Our chances better than before. The front line knocking on the door. A shot from Richie seems so close, but ends up curling round the post. The corners keep on coming in. If we don't score and get the win, I'll wonder how we see it through. And after that, a fine 1-2 as Alex slides it in. Great play, but it won't sit for Demi Gray. Now Seamus victimised by Dean, despite pulling out and playing clean. This won't turn out a right dog's dinner. Keep it up, we'll find a winner. We're hungry, making every call, but keep it calm, await the ball. Excitement builds, and then we sighed. Richarlison's been caught offside, and here is when I nearly cried. My completely legal stream had died. DCL and Alan joined the fold. Is there more still to be told? We goosed the Gosling, just desserts for jumping ship. I hope it hurts. Even though we failed to score, we'll take the point, a hard-fought draw.
And it's amazing that you've actually managed to find something to talk about in a game where me and Stevie looked at each other 5 minutes into the stream thinking, fucking hell, there's absolutely nothing to talk about.
I thought we'd be on here about 8 minutes. That was outstanding. We heard the halftime rendition, and David said that it's so well. Basil said it saved him. It would have saved him 45 minutes of his architecture degree. And I think there'll be a lot of Evertonians that wish that they'd maybe heard that. But yeah, it was very, very good. What can you say? It's yet another classy touch from Follow Everton. Thank you, Yandalf.
Thanks, Yandalf. Absolutely superb, and we're honoured to have you on here. And we kind of, when I messaged you and asked you to come on, I kind of, obviously it was a one-off, but you were so good, and then I kind of pigeonholed into the channel without really asking, did you actually want to be a part of it? But I hope you don't mind. You know, there's no obligation. You want to come on whenever you want.
It's the only channel where there's so much passion. Green screen where you can actually see the green and the edge of the green screen.
I know, it's a shambles. But look, there's too much stuff going on in this room. We have an Everton football, which has been not hand signed. We've also got, I've actually got some more Everton memorabilia we'll get out another time. But let's go over to the comments if that's okay, and I'll direct these accordingly, and then we'll wrap things up because there isn't an awful lot to talk about in terms of.
I know. I felt like obliged to write something because I thought we might bag a late winner and spirits would be high, and it seems a bit pointless. Like a lot of people might not want to listen to it, having walked away disappointed. No, yeah.
Listen, mate, we get more viewers on here when we lose than when we win. You know, honestly, I've looked back and we've lost, and there's been 3,500 views on the stream, and I'm thinking, flaming Nora, how are these people all watching it? And the thing is that everyone's it's what's the word, misery in numbers, or there's some
misery like company.
Yeah,
I think so it's more therapeutic when we lose, but I would much rather have no one watching
and win.
And us to get a result, to be honest.
Let's have a look at these comments.
I thought the fans was incredible though. This is how it was. I was watching it on the iPad, and I actually thought that I'd left Spirit of the Blues on the TV because I could hear Spirit of the Blues banging out of the iPad all the way through the game. I was singing along,
Dan, because there's very little else to do.
Yeah, but there was. I'm different. Do you know what you said? There's very little out of the game. I think there was a lot in the game. There was loads of chances and stuff like that. It was there.
There were a lot of shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of shots. There was a lot of attacking, Delph, but there was loads of stuff in the game. We could have scored about 5-6 goals. They wasn't that good. There was loads in the game for me. We just didn't take our chances and wasn't clinical enough. Like, we should have won that game. We got to win that game. Like that was a big game. That was, and for me, winning against.
I'm going to say something positive and take you off track.
Well, winning. What I was just going to say, there was winning against our last game, winning against Chelsea, our last game, and then getting a draw against them. It kind of takes that the edge off that a little bit. It takes it away, doesn't it? That we put in such a shift to win that game, and then we have an easy game like this, and we go and draw it. It feels like you've
There
switched
are
it.
no
and
easy games, though.
But
really,
it was easy. Come on, that was an easy game.
No,
It was
Dan,
easy. The game was there for the taking.
I've got to say, like, and I will reiterate, maybe I'm broken record, but we haven't had that much rest. The players are a bit tired, and it is a desperately needed point. It's better than
why did you
conceding
not change
and
the
losing.
team, Yandalf?
This is what I was going to say, Jan, and I'll hit points here because there's plenty to talk about. Trust me, when we get stuff wrong, I'll correct it because we need to be better. And Doucouré, for me, on a nighttime game, when he's fasting, by the time it gets to nighttime, he's shattered. He's been fasting all day. He's shattered. He didn't have the engine because it's late at night.
I don't think he's fasting anymore.
Is he not? Well, why did he get shattered then?
Dan, by the way, Dan,
why did he get shattered?
As well.
Well, this is what you've got to do.
You'll be saying he's fasting on Shabbat next on Friday games.
Well, if he wasn't fasting, that's even. If he wasn't fasting, that's even worse. Then come on, this is what you got to do: make people laugh on the channel.
Look,
but, yeah,
he's eaten. He's had a dinner, so he needs a rest afterwards.
Well, he's had too much. He's been fasting, and he's been eating too much after he's been fasting now, and he's overloaded.
We're also out of lockdown. For the record.
Dan will be looking at all the religious festivals and
no, I just don't. I wouldn't have played
Hanukkah, Easter.
I personally,
it must be Easter, so he didn't play well because he was too busy.
Well, I haven't got cameras. I haven't got cameras on Doucouré, so I don't.
In Lampard's defense,
I got that wrong.
Right,
but
he said this in the preview. In Lampard's defense,
he was shit today, Dan.
What I'm saying is to you though, was Ali on the bench? Told me that. Was Ali on the bench? Bring Ali on for Doucouré because we don't need many defensive players. They wasn't that good. Keane could have defended by himself, I tell you. That's how poor they was attacking. They was poor attacking. Sacrifice players. Lampard's got to take risks. I've been Lampard's biggest fan, and I still am. And I think
Eliana could have defended.
Yeah, I honestly would have put Eliana back as a 3-year-old, and she would have sorted them out. There wasn't even trying to go up. I tell you, there was running off the pitch for us, so we had time to score a goal.
No, but when you say it that way, no, Dan, conversely, when you say that, don't forget that there's always two teams playing. Maybe we just managed to control the game enough that it looked like they didn't attack. And despite the fact that they've got nothing to lose, so that's why we were a bit cautious. Do you see it's a sort of swings and roundabouts?
I understand what you're saying, but they had Dan Gosling in midfield.
For the record,
and he's like,
they had 48% of the ball, Watford. So pretty much half. And they had no shots on target, so they did nothing.
No, they wasn't going to attack. We could have sacrificed a player. We could have put Ali on, who probably might have cut them open more than what Doucouré would have. Doucouré suits certain games. Counter-attack, yes, and he'll put a shift in backwards, and he'll sometimes counter-attack forward. But when we've got the ball all the time, Ali is a player you want on to get on the ball. And Calvert-Lewin, I don't care what we said. We said on the last channel, Calvert-Lewin. We was putting Rondon before Calvert-Lewin. If Calvert-Lewin played a lot of that game, he would have scored against them. He thrives against weaker players. He used to do it when he was on his top form for us. He used to, because can you remember when Calvert-Lewin first come through? He played in the cup games and he used to score in cup games. When he first come through, that was Calvert-Lewin, how he made himself. He likes playing against teams. And when he come on, he looked good. That was
you're right, because the only way they could stop him was fouling him. He was fouled a few times in short succession. So that shows you that over the course of maybe 90 minutes or 30 minutes, he would have had a good clear-cut few chances.
So why are we not playing a striker against a team that we need to beat? Like Richarlison's not even... You've got to play Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison next to him.
We said this in the preview. I said that you've got to take the pressure off Richarlison.
Yeah, 100%. Lampard's got to... I get to stick to what works, but as soon as Lampard sees in the game what's happening, he's got to think, right, our defence isn't getting tested that much. I'm going to make a substitute now to put an extra attacker on. You've got to go with the game. He could have played the same
team and just put Iwobi on the right side of the midfield, or he could have put him as... one of the three in midfield with Doucouré on the left.
Iwobi was good defensively, but in Lampard's defence, if he changed that winning team and we got mauled, we lost 2-1 or something, everyone would have gone, oh, why did he change the winning team and all this and that? So
were Watford crap because of the formation we played?
Well,
he should have made tactical changes. Dan got it right. Basically, Dele Alli should have come on for Doucouré.
No, but was the reason Watford did... Was the reason Watford didn't do anything? This is Tiandalf. Was the reason they didn't have any impact on the game? No shots on target because we went with our formation. Okay, it did affect us offensively, but did it stop them?
Yeah, and I think obviously dropping or losing at this point would be catastrophic because, I mean, don't forget Kamara, their best player, arguably, was banned for this match or suspended. And like I said, yeah, when they've got nothing to lose and clearly teams they were trying to attack towards the end of the game, which shows you that was their intent all along, to play regardless of the fact they'd already been relegated. So I think the fact that we managed to walk away from that with a point is still a positive to take, because don't forget that although confidence might be high and spirits might be high at the moment after Chelsea and Leicester, we're still off form, and the overriding, someone can be really ill. Like, we've been a very ill team in terms of our health and performance, not in terms of our actual health, metaphorically speaking. We've been doing very poorly, and so if we pick up, that doesn't mean that we're suddenly able to go on run a marathon.
Yeah, I think we lost 19 games, and we've had like an unbeaten run of 2 games, and then we suddenly think, we should definitely go and win in midweek away from home. When has that happened this year?
Well, it's Watford who've already been relegated with about 10 players missing. So I think in isolation over the run of a season, if this was midway through the season, we'd all be on here absolutely fuming. I think we were scared to lose. We come away with a point. The reality is, I can understand, by the way, Dan's frustration with it.
Sit someone in that pocket behind the striker, because we was passing the ball about and we couldn't get no one into those gaps. If you sit someone behind that striker, he could have received the ball and it would open everything up for everyone else. It was. I get what you're saying. You look at when we've gone away, we've lost and lost and lost, and it is better. But I watched that Watford team and how poor they was. We should have beat them. We should have 100% beat them.
Defensively.
Yeah, we should have beat them.
I completely see why Dan is frustrated. I also see why Yandalf is fairly comfortable with the point and understands why we didn't change things up for it. But looking ahead, now we've got Brentford, who we've beaten 4-1 already this season at home. And they haven't really got anything to play for, in fairness. And excuse me.
Where's the positivity, Dan? We've got Brentford next. Come on.
No, I'm positive. I'll be positive.
Right,
I'll be ready. But you've still got. I always know what our team are capable of, and I want the best from my team. And I'll get behind them next game. I did this game. I do every game. 100% get behind them. But I want them to do the best they can do. And I don't feel like coming out of this game they did. And
no, they didn't.
They could have done better. And I feel like they'll feel the same. Gordon, Gray, and all that lot will come out of the game feeling we was all over this game and we could have got goals this game and we didn't. They can be better. Trust me, we'll stay up. I'm still positive and stuff like that. But
yeah, I think part of the positivity is the fact Leeds are bloody awful.
Yeah, I just want to move on to that now, guys. I don't want to fixate
only
on this.
One of the 3 teams can go down, and Burnley have got Spurs away, and Leeds look awful.
Leeds are doing things. I want to move on from the Everton at the moment. I'll come to the comments. Leeds are doing things that relegated teams do. I watched the Arsenal game, and they had a man sent off for a stupid foul. The goals were pathetic. They were doing things that teams that go down deserve to do and do. And then again today, 10 men, stupid challenge. No
Chelsea
quality.
were all over them like a rash from the beginning. I mean, they weren't in the game.
Chelsea would have beaten 3-0, regardless of whether they had 10 men or 11 men, in my opinion.
It should have been 5.
But do you think that sort of signified that was kind of a self-perpetuating or a self-fulfilling prophecy when we kept having that run of games where we had a man sent off almost every game? Like you're saying, was that sort of part and parcel for the ways the identifiers that you look for of this is the way it's going? Then is that?
I was firmly under the conclusion that we were down because we were doing things which stunk of relegation, conceding goals from set pieces and making individual errors and getting players sent off for stupid things. I looked in this little run against United and beating I can't remember
Newcastle.
A few games, Newcastle, Chelsea and Leicester. We cut out the errors and we went back to more of a pragmatic approach. We'll wait for you to make a mistake. We did that today. We did exactly. That's the way we set up for Watford to make a mistake and to not concede. And unfortunately, Watford were just solid. They had no pressure on them. They just turned up. A game of football for them. Have a bit of fun. And we actually needed a bit more than just to be extremely pragmatic. I do want to talk about this Leeds game, though. They're playing Brighton, who are superb away from home. Leeds are at home, Brighton on Sunday. And if Brighton win that game, then Everton can stay up officially if they beat Brentford at 4:00 as soon as that match finishes. And I imagine, would you like the players to know the score of the Leeds-Brighton game before they go out?
They'll know it regardless, Ryan.
Yeah, they'll know it. But I mean,
not whether we like them to.
That's why we have to not get too fixated on this game as an isolated, we dropped up 2 points. Let's look at it as if, okay, we're now in a position where if we beat Brentford on Sunday and Leeds lose, we're staying up because the goal difference is like minus 28, 30, something ridiculous for them. So
Leeds are minus 38 at the moment. I've got it.
Yeah. So we'll stay up if we win and they lose. Yeah. And Burnley, I don't think Burnley are going to get a win away at Spurs. I'd be shocked. I think they'll get trounced 4-5-0. So,
look, Spurs have still got something to play for, haven't they?
Spurs have still got something to play for. They play tomorrow against Arsenal. We kind of need Arsenal to win that game so that Arsenal,
have solidified it by the game.
The reality is, if we need Spurs to win as well, then they'll probably need to come they'll probably need to batter us. Anyway, can we move to the comments, please, if that's all right? Just because we've already done half an hour. I don't know how Dan managed to get another 10 minutes out. It's some fantastic feedback and
you've got to make it lively. That's what people like to watch. You've got to put your thoughts out there, make it lively.
Well, they're tuning in for you guys, and I can't thank you enough. So make sure you please hit the like and subscribe button. Certainly, if not for the fixture, but for Yandal's fantastic poetry as well. Let's go to the comments. I'll direct these accordingly, so we're not all talking over each other. Sam Stanley saying, disappointing result. However, Leeds are in big trouble with suspensions and injuries. That was another thing, Yandalf, that I picked up on today. With the 2 red cards, suspended, straight reds. Stuart Dallas. Also injured, and there was another very important Leeds defender injured. So they're missing big players, and surely you'd think they are the favourites to go down now. Do you think the change of manager hasn't helped them, in fairness, and actually has possibly been a bit of a hindrance?
That is a question that I don't even want to open up, because if we're going to go down that avenue, we could say it goes either way, because look what happened with Burnley. They seem to have gone on a bit of a run, and whether that's burnt out, I really don't know. I mean, I think Leeds. I was talking to a Leeds fan a couple of weeks ago before they played the last couple of games, and they were saying that they went to every game and it wasn't looking good for them. And I thought, well, no, because they can still pull it out, but obviously if they're going to every game and they say that, I'm going to take their word for it rather than my occasional glances, and it's not looking good for them.
They're doing things that relegated teams do, and really on paper, I think Leeds have actually got a bit of quality. It just seems to be all falling apart. Got a comment from Marky saying it was dismal tonight. I was hoping to secure safety on Sunday. It's disappointing because if we had won tonight, we would have guaranteed safety with a win on the weekend, I imagine.
That's my point, Ryan. I just want to get it done early. I want to get the job done.
But we're in a relegation battle, and
that game we could. If we won that game, for me that was basically nearly job done already, staying up. But now it's on the next game as well.
We should have gone through it all. There's some praise for Dell from Kenny. Thanks for that. And Eugene saying Everton should have beaten Watford. I think we're all in agreement. Matty saying we dominated them, but they did the defensive work. Jason saying he was disappointed, but at the end of the day, we've got a point. We understand that in the wider context of the relegation battle, a point might help us, but just because of some of the fixtures, you'd say, are quite favourable towards us moving forward, being at home, etc. Watford had nothing to play for. Faz is saying that was sterile, getting their first clean at home. Shite. I mean, you can't really argue with any of these comments, in fairness.
No.
We can draw for Leeds.
I don't know what your thought was like. Free was like watching it on the. I wanted them to do it for the fans, because the fans all the way through were singing the whole game, positive all the way through the game, and even when it got to like 90th minute and there was extra time, I was like, these fans have been so good all the way through. Please just give them something to go home and celebrate even more, because I can't believe that atmosphere away. It was that loud all the way through. You couldn't even hear the commentators. That's how loud the fans was. They should be proud of themselves, because the fans are smashing it at the minute. They are doing their job 10 times over. We've got such good fans, proper good fans.
They actually said
I'm
in
so proud
commentary
of
that we've got some of the loudest fans in the league.
Yeah,
they're
amazing.
It's a 350-mile round trip to go and watch Everton at night. It's unbelievable.
And they would have sold out the whole stadium, I guarantee it.
There were lots of fans in different blocks, because we saw that on Facebook. I mean, we can now announce that.
Daft question. I don't know whether maybe someone in the comments can throw in there. Obviously, are Watford sort of imposters, or are they copycatting us? Because I know they play Z-Cars, but was it just my stream, or did anyone notice at the end they seem to play all together now by the farm?
My stream had gone. I switched straight to the Man City game, I'm not going to lie, so I can't comment, but maybe someone in the comments can confirm
comments if you heard that.
Or someone who was actually at the game. I know some people watch this on the way back, so they've got it on. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I know there's over 50 if you're still watching at 10:30 at night, which is nice. Joining us to talk about Everton's fantastic 0-0 draw away at Watford.
They were going to play Sorry Seems to be the hardest world, but Elton wasn't there today.
He was singing the blues. Chris Peacock, he's saying definitely dropped 2 points, but can't take anything positive from tonight. Thanks,
I can.
Chris.
A clean sheet.
We've
looks invincible at the moment.
Well, you've got Jan's poem. That was positive. I don't know how he did it, but he made it sound like we played incredible. But
this is the thing.
I don't know how he did it. His poem was so good. If you can make a good poem from that game, mate, you are the world's best poet, mate. I'm telling you that for sure.
Because I've got another one ready to drop.
That was a
before
good
the Brentford game.
It was a good poem. Inside, I was loving it, but I still can't not be angry that we didn't win, because we need to start winning. And I just want to out the zone early, but I'm still buzzing. I'm still ready for the next game.
I know you say we need to start
zone
winning
early.
7 points from 3 games.
No, I understand what you're saying, but you can't.
If that was the start of the season,
I just think I don't get why we. I think here's a couple of points as well. I'll go with you. Some people listening. We need a better crosser on the ball. Free kicks and corners. I don't know what sort of delivery we're going to get. Gordon and Gray, they're not good crossers. It's not consistently going where they want it to go. They're not crossers. So we need, and this put your hands up. We know what you're going to do anyway. Don't put your hands up before you cross it in, because it's probably just like puts you off balance when you cross it in. So that's a stupid thing, but that's what I think personally. We need a better
you're right
on the ball.
We've had this problem for quite a while, or what I've noticed, and my dad and I have pointed out when we go to games. When we're playing like a corner or a free kick or something, there's no man on the far side that's waiting for the ball to go when it's missed everyone, or to play it back into the guy on the edge of the box or something like that. It's almost like we're missing that sort of analytical nous and the awareness of the physics of the football when it's in those sort of positions. It's almost like, well, capitalize on that. Have somebody running in there. Have somebody drawing a man over so that you can open up a gap for an overlap or something. Yeah,
100% though. Why are we putting like corner takers that are bending it out away from the goal? I don't like that. I want you to be bending it in towards the keeper, and then the keeper's got to do something. Then you create mistakes. We did it on a free kick where Mikalenko probably should have come over and took it, but instead we've put a right foot
weird
on
setup.
We killed it away from the goal and stuff like that. So poor delivery today. It's got to be better delivery with how many corners we've had and stuff like that.
The crossing's poor. The set pieces are poor. Yandalf, you're spot on. I know you can't say enough a lot now. You're in the circles, but I think the players are a little bit brain dead at times.
We're going to get him in trouble.
I really mean that. I think I've been saying it all season. I think some of them are a little bit brain dead when it comes to tactical stuff. And the set pieces, we had 13 corners. At what point do you start thinking, actually, this let's surround the goalie type corner is not going to work, and maybe we do need someone on the edge, someone on the far corner, someone blocking the keeper and creating a little space. And really, actually, instead of leaving Iwobi and Allen as the ones to tap the ball, maybe leave Richarlison in the centre and have the players who aren't going to be able to head it in blocking the keeper. It didn't make a lot of sense. Dan, I agree also with what you're saying. We miss Sigurdsson. And moving on.
Yeah, I was thinking Sigurdsson today, because I was thinking to myself
from that.
I was thinking to myself, what No, but I was thinking to
Stevie's
myself,
reaction, man.
do you know centre midfield? What centre midfield did we need today that would have helped us out? And it was like a Rodriguez sort of position, but I don't like to say Rodriguez because I don't like him, especially
Lee
after what he come
Carsley.
out. Especially after I think it was.
We just need a bit of width.
We missed
Sigurdsson
and a bit of width.
I think
need
it was an
someone who can cross the
Arteta
ball.
sort of style player today, and I don't want to say
If
Arteta.
you've got a striker like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you need to be whipping the ball in and
No, you're right.
Those chances. Well, we weren't doing that, and
We haven't got anyone who can do that.
It's all very down the middle.
We've got
Somebody
no
who
one
can place it. Place the ball exactly where you know he's going to place it and where he knows someone's going to be.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
no surprise he's not been good when he's played, given that we don't have anyone who can cross the ball from fullback and no one with a brain cell who can deliver the ball from out wide. I just think he thrives on those little tap-ins, and you'd think Damari Gray and Gordon are the perfect plethora of options to get to the byline and pull it back and drive it across the 6-yard box. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
What did you think? Like when Iwobi got through, cracking ball through. I don't know who put the ball through, maybe Delph or someone like that. But cracking ball through, Iwobi got through, and the commentator says he probably should have shot earlier. You think to yourself, if it was someone else, he probably would have scored that. Then you've got the Gray chance that you said in your poem, where Gray so close to the goal, he's dragged it, could have scored. You say it was a boring game, but there was loads of chances there where we could have got 4 or 5 goals for me.
And Mikolenko on the left. Mikolenko on the left, like the commentary said quite rightly, he side-footed it across, at Foster, and you're thinking, well, at least hit it with some force that it bounces out or hits a defender or comes back for a rebound or it goes over for a corner or something. Really, really test it. Although having said that, I forgive him considering that rocket of a shot.
Players possibly a little bit tired, and also one person who is a bit tired is Steve, who's up with the crack of dawn with his baby. So, Stevie, good night. Thank you.
Good night, Stevie.
So that's my brother Stephen. He's gone.
I don't think it was even that they was tired, Ryan. I think they got in all the positions they needed to get in. They just wasn't clinically enough with what they did. There wasn't like when they got the ball, they needed to do things better in the final third, but they got in all the positions. It wasn't tired because we didn't struggle. We had better fitness than them. We didn't struggle in like defending or anything. The fitness was there. It was just that we're not clinical with what we do. We need to make teams pay for when they make mistakes. They do it against us. We make one mistake and the ball's in the back of a net. So why aren't we putting the ball in the back of the net?
So frustrating, Dan. I understand. I share that frustration. Believe me, I understand that. But also in hosting this, I am seeing the more pragmatic element of that. We could have lost the game, or Leeds have lost, and we have 2 home games now, and we will make it horrible for the opposition. We can. It's still in our own hands. By the way, boys, if you are tired, don't feel obliged to stay on.
It's 0-0
Send me a little private chat, because Stevie messaged me, said I'm exhausted talking about this 0-0. But if you're still with us, we appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you like and subscribe. Going to whiz through the comments. We've got Boston. He's saying the players couldn't smash a poppadom with a bowling ball. Truly awful. They were terrible, Yandalf. That's from Dave Weston. Boston was asking for Dan the man. We obliged. We brought him on.
Forgive me, I'm still trying to keep it positive because I know how much it can be on a knife edge, and I'm still mindful of the fact that if things do go tits up and it all goes a bit wrong, then we still mathematically could get relegated,
I still think we're in a very, very good situation and we're going to stay up. But I have to point out the things in the game we've got wrong, because people are coming on with the comments now and they're saying what we've got wrong, and that's what we're thinking. So we've got to relate to the people coming on with what's going wrong, because that's what they're going to want to hear. They ain't going to want to hear us when we're feeling a bit like we should have got more. They ain't going to want to come on the channel and hear that it was a good game. We point out what they saw and what we saw. And we relate to them. Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't a good game. I'm just trying to find the silver lining.
Yeah,
I think the silver lining is the bigger picture, not the game. The game was boring. The game was poor. Everton were poor. Watford were poor. We didn't get out of first gear. The manager was a bit too passive, and we have to move on from it. At the same time, we're going to analyse it, as we always do. Yandalf, sorry for interrupting you. What do you want to say?
No, it's okay. I was just going to say the silver lining is we didn't Everton it up by, like we almost could have or might have done at Leicester by not capitalising, scoring that second goal, and then they go up the other end of the field and equalise. It's that kind of stuff that bites us on the arse all the time.
But in fairness, Watford were never near scoring at any point in that game. That was the worst Premier League side we've faced this season.
I was a little bit worried on the set pieces that they had. Sorry,
He's nodding. He's like, I know you're right, Ryan. I know you're right, Ryan.
I was a little
trying to not get this upset me. I know you.
The set piece. I get what Jan was saying though. At the end, the set pieces that they had, I did think they might pop one in.
Is your dad going to come on the show? You're going to get
my dad. Oh God, nobody wants to see him, and he desperately needs a haircut.
Oh, if he doesn't want to. So what's going on in the week?
Yes. You wanted on the show.
Are they all watching it?
Yeah, I come round to watch it.
Did he watch it?
Yes, yeah. My missus just bless her, like she's happy while I enjoy it. Have you combed your hair?
No, he hasn't.
Oh crikey! Everybody, where we used to sit close to the street end, just called him Gruffalo, and I became son of Gruffalo. So
you don't need to see me here if you don't like it.
Well, just
I'll go quite happy.
Come on,
Get him on. Cheer me up. Cheer me up.
All right.
Here's Gruffalo.
Please.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
Good evening.
How are you?
We're doing all right. Good to see you.
You know who I am, don't you? I'm Jasmine's boyfriend as well.
I do know that. Yes, great to see you.
Nice to see you. So
go on. I was going to ask him a question.
Go on, straight to you.
What are your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was a pretty awful game. Thought we were the better of two poor sides, and 0-0 was about right. And Leeds have lost, so we may only need a point on Sunday, so that's all right by me.
Only need a point? How come?
May only need a point on Sunday.
If Leeds lose.
If Leeds lose, yeah.
Would that actually be enough to keep us up?
Yeah, because then we'd be 3 ahead of Leeds. Their goal difference is just awful.
20 or 19 worse than ours.
Maybe 25.
There you go.
What's your thoughts on Frank Lampard? What's your thoughts on Frank Lampard? Because I felt like he got a little bit wrong today. I'm massively behind him 100%, but I would like to have seen Dele Alli come on for Decore, maybe just to attack a little bit more.
There wasn't enough in midfield to have enough thrust. I think they were pretty comfortable at the back. I think they got 4 points from 2 games and 11 points from 5 or 6. That's good enough for me. You know, as soon as they found themselves in trouble, they realised just what a big hole they dug themselves into, and that's a good thing to know you're in trouble and not believe that you'll stay out of it. I was reasonably confident Everton would get out of this once they realised how deep a hole they were in, and that's what's happened. So I'm pretty pleased with Frank. I'm pretty pleased with the efforts of the team, and it's great to hear the fans really get behind the team for the first time I can remember in 40 years, really.
So it's amazing listening to those fans today sing "Spirit of the Blues" clearly all the way through the game.
Yes.
It's a positive thing to come out of the relegation battle for me. That it's massively united. It's brought our fans back. It's united them, hasn't it?
I think so. I mean, if you look at how Leicester struggled in 2015 and saved themselves from relegation, and look what it did to them in 2016. I'm not going to say we'll do the same next year, but you know, sometimes these are big turning points. I've seen many turning points in Everton's history. And the fact of the matter is that barring a very few years in the 60s, Dixie Dean and the mid-80s, we have always been, and unfortunately we have to accept, we've always been a mid-table team, apart from a small period of our history.
Right, time for you to go.
Time for me to go, eh?
He was good. I like him. He's good, man.
Yeah. Oh, my dad's
back
statistics. He can rattle off every FA Cup winner since God knows year dot, and every bloody run, and who played for who in the quarterfinals here, and who scored, and it's madness.
Well, I was hoping that he didn't ask me no questions about the times he was talking about, because I probably wasn't born then, and then I looked like a crap Evertonian. but like you say, true things that he was saying, because I did hear. I don't know if you've seen it, a video Rio Ferdinand come out and say there's loads of stuff going on behind the scenes, and that Everton being in this situation is that there's a lot of positive to come out of it. It's united Everton. Ferdinand come out and said that, because he said he's Holgate's and Godfrey's agent, and he said that Everton, there's good stuff going on behind the scenes, and massively said good things are happening. So that relates to what your thing just said.
I mean, I can't. I can't really sort of disclose anything I may have seen or have been sort of told, you know, or have gleaned from sort of conversations at the moment. Like, obviously, I was very lucky to meet Frank at Finch Farm, but it is quite clear that Everton are as a football club and a business, are moving forward with intent. You know, both with Bramley Moor, with Finch Farm, with a complete. With a complete orchestrated plan and a vision to move the team forward into, and drag us kicking and screaming into the 21st century of football, which, you can argue that we missed out on in '92. And obviously the implications of Europe and the setting up of the Premier League and how that became a bit of an old boys club, how we didn't renovate Goodison and push forward maybe when we could have done in the mid '90s. And, it's quite clear that every step that I've seen is a step in the right direction, long term.
And I believe we have actually got a shirt sponsor for next season, thankfully, which I imagine would be quite a difficult thing to do, given we don't know what division we're going to be on. But that's what I've heard. We've secured someone.
Don't we have Kazoo for another year?
No, they've parted ways. Kazoo actually wanted to drop their. There was going to be a review. And Everton wanted more money, and Kazoo wanted to lower their sponsorship value, whatever they pay us. Sorry,
well, they need to up the interest rates on those car financing, then, don't they?
Well, they wanted to give us the same as they give as they give Aston Villa. So, because they said Aston Villa are doing better than you, why do you deserve more money? Anyway,
because you signed the bloody contract
with the break clause.
Did you hear that? I'm going to go off the chart a little bit here. Did you hear that Simon on his talk channel come out and say that he thinks that Lampard's not doing that well and that Steven Gerrard's doing a lot better? And I was thinking, I don't think Gerrard's doing that well either with the players he's had and stuff like that. And a lot of people disagreed with what he said. That's Simon, what's his name? You'll know who I'm on about, I'm sure.
Bondar?
Be right back.
No,
can't remember his name.
Oh no, I can't say.
He stormed off the channel.
Oh right, okay, Ryan.
He stormed off the channel. He stormed off the channel.
It's like Hugh Edwards eating a croissant at 5 a.m. with the local elections.
Yeah,
where have you gone?
He didn't like me talking about Simon on the channel. He had a fight with Simon a bit back.
Oh.
No, he didn't really, but that would have been funny. To be fair though, Jan, speaking to your dad, he's made me feel a lot more positive as well. To be fair, because like you said, things are getting better.
Yes,
things are getting better. You've got to get your head on that. It's getting better. You can't let yourselves get too carried away with the results. I was enjoying getting some consistency, but we haven't lost, have we? We haven't lost again.
Is this time to queue up? Is this time to sort of queue up Brian Cox and get a D-Ream reunion?
Yeah, he's back now. We stormed off.
Oh, yeah. I got a text from my girlfriend downstairs saying there's been a bang and there's a weird noise and it's coming from like the electric meter and the gas meter cupboard.
I thought someone broke into your house.
No, and she was like playing the sound and it doesn't sound too good, so I'm gonna have to find out what the hell's going on. But this house I'm in is cursed anyway. For all know, we could be dying of something.
Legionnaires, by the sounds of this. Yeah.
You're looking better today, though, mate, from what you was.
I know, I was like the ghost. There's a good 100 comments. I'm going to whiz through the best ones if that's all right.
Yeah, people are coming on. They're like listening to us. I told you we'd make it a long one.
But I can leave you and sit here, Daniel. Talking.
Told you we'd make it a long one.
If we don't feel too good as well. I think are we getting gassed here or something? Not good.
Has a Wobie broke into your house and he's letting off gas?
Something's not right.
Something's not
right. Can I whiz through these if that's okay?
Go on.
Yeah.
I'll pull you up on the best ones.
I'll jump in if I don't like something or agree with something. I'll jump in.
Michael Bridson saying we should have gone 4-4-2 at half time. He agrees with me. Boston saying the players couldn't hit the poppadom. We've discussed that already. We know about the poppadom. God, I'm really not. Something going on here. The fact Dan's not happy shows how bad we were. That's a good point. That's what I said. Normally you come on here smiling. Yes, we drew. We drew 0-0. Fantastic result.
Well,
we only lost 4-0. We only lost 4-0 at home to Burnley today, and
I couldn't help my face. I tried to. It's like one minute. I couldn't help my face. It's just my emotion comes out. But I'm happier now. I'm happier now.
Yeah, because you've had to chat to your friends, so you feel a little bit more relaxed. Michael saying the players look nervous. It was like a testimonial. I can't disagree with you. And Billy saying, why did we play 5 at the back?
Well, I think it's, from my opinion, I think it's because Mykolenko goes forward or has the ability to go forward, and Seamus Coleman's getting older and he doesn't have the legs, so Iwobi slots in to cover it just to make sure. Because if we drop a midfielder into the centre of midfield, as is often a team's tactics, then we leave our midfield bare and empty, and we've got a lot of players that have abilities and skills that are more suited to being on the wing.
I think the part of the problem and why we're not playing three in midfield is maybe he doesn't want Allen and Delph too similar, and doesn't trust Gomez, and Van der Beek's injured. And I think if Van der Beek was fully fit, he would have played today, because I don't see why you need 5 in the back line. It is sort of like a faux 5 at the back, really. It becomes a 3, then it becomes 5 in midfield or 4 in midfield. It becomes a 3-4-3. But you needed that link-up player, as Dan alluded to, without going into too much detail. You needed the link-up behind the striker. I think Iwobi, when he goes forward, Coleman shifts over, becomes the right back, and the formation evolves and changes. The players rotate. It's clever, but I don't think today was the game for it. We've got the same old Everton fan channel. He's saying, nice to speak to you, Jan Delph. He wants to talk to you on Twitter. We've got Robbie thinks it was a bit stale. And Ronnie is saying it was the right team, but it was too defensive and we played too deep.
I think with the confidence...
Sorry, go on.
The confidence being high as it was with the team unchanged or pretty much unchanged, Chelsea, Leicester today, it's certainly the right decision to keep the players, even if you changed it and fitness might have been a bit lower. There's too much at stake to change it if they've got the right mentality and they're sort of gelling a bit. Yeah.
Well, they are passing the ball a lot better together at the minute, ain't they? So we wasn't clinical in the final third, but we definitely kept the ball better today. So like you say, they are getting used to each other more, which is a good thing, and getting used to each other's positions. Delph was cracking today. Delph, he's proper on it, isn't he? I think he's trying to get a new contract because he was
Tackling's
proper.
good.
Yeah, turned the ball over quick.
There's talk we're going to offer him another year.
I'm still 50-50. I really am. I'm just focused on staying up. I don't know. I'm 50-50, but he's definitely our best player at the minute.
I wouldn't be giving him a new deal. I'd be looking to sign another central midfielder, a younger player with the same energy and tenacity. Unless he wants to stay on a pay-as-you-play.
Pay-as-you-play, that's the reason I'm 50-50. Pay-as-you-play, like you just said.
He might pay him 90 grand a week again for another season and gets injured and then plays about 6 games again. For me, that's uneconomical for a club that's got no money. But look, I trust Lampard with whatever he wants to do. Let us know in the comments. Do you want to see Fabian Delph given a new contract? And if so, would you give him another year? Would you give him longer? Would you give him 6 months? And what are the terms that you want as an Evertonian?
Give him 5-6 years and let him go on loads of holidays. That's what we normally do, don't we?
Mark is saying we miss Luca Dean and his crossing. I agree. I think that is the difference between Mykolenko and Luca Dean. I think Dean has got better delivery, but I think Mykolenko looks a little bit more steady, solid, defensively at the moment.
What is he? He's only 19, isn't he?
He's 22.
Oh.
I think he's lacking a bit of confidence, and I think as he learns more English, I think he's going to become a much better player.
Yeah, communication obviously plays a part, I think.
Of course, I think it's a credit that he's actually done so well.
I still think with Mykolenko, he doesn't know how good he is yet. He doesn't know what he's got in him, because you see him go down the left and sometimes he'll just pass it back to Delph and think, I'll give it you because you might be able to do more than me, so I'll give it back to you. But he could just... Do you know where Baines used to... When Baines had the ball, he could pass it back or he could bomb it past the player. Mykolenko needs to know that he could do that. He's got the option of passing it to a midfielder or he'll kill the player. He can do it. He's got it in him. I've seen him do it a couple of times. He's got it in him, but I feel like that'll come with time. Once he's got that confidence, it'll come with time. But he's got it, definitely. I think he's got it. Patterson will be the same. He's going to be another cracking addition on the right.
I think Patterson's going to be dynamic. I think Mykolenko... The thing with you're comparing him with Baines, who's the best left back of his generation, and as far as I'm concerned, you're talking about he stood on the ball, could dictate it from left back. He defensively fantastic, offensive. He had absolutely everything. I think Mykolenko, with the confidence, will see a much more assured player next season, and hopefully we can sign a couple of centre halves as well, because we can't rely on these meaners who are going to come in for one game, go out for 6, and really the reality is we can't wash over the fact that Holgate Keane have been a disaster as a pairing for most of the season, and are pretty much why we are where we are. Thanks for all the comments today. There's loads still coming in. A lot of them are just repeating things. Jasmine saying, Uncle Daniel, that's your first cousin once removed. Actually, Jasmine, not your uncle. Yandal's pissing himself.
We crack him up on this channel.
Jasmine's now got
Simon Jordan. That's the guy that you stormed.
I thought you deliberately omitted his name.
That's what I was trying to think of the guy's name, and I said Simon, and Ryan stormed off because he doesn't like Simon, because he had a big argument with Simon on Twitter.
I didn't actually. That was Phil McNulty, and that was a few years ago. Jasmine's got 1,200 followers on Twitter. She's gone from like 200 to 1,200, and some of her things have got 500 likes on there, just like Everton videos and stuff. Bearing in mind, she sat during the match with me going, I can't watch this, I'm having heart palpitations, and then gets a Candy Crush on her phone as a way of coping with the anxiety of the match.
Well, I'm actually right.
Did you actually, isn't it?
Did you actually see that I got the missus to sing that Mikolenko song?
I saw it. I liked it. I shared it.
Yeah, well, did you see who actually liked it?
I couldn't believe it.
Callum Scott actually liked it.
I thought he was going to go. You've absolutely ruined my song.
He's been DMing me. He's been DMing me. Callum Scott DM'd me and says, I want you to write songs for me.
Oh my God. We've got breaking news here on Follow Everton. Dan Toffee, Blue.
Yeah, I write songs all the time. I'm a songwriter.
So yeah, you sent me something like
he's Brazilian. I write all my songs, myself. I don't even use a pencil. I use pen because I'm not good to get it right straight away, mate.
Well, this is me. You two do realise that
was good. See, I cheer myself up eventually. I'm ready for the next game. Do you know why I'm a little bit frustrated? Because I said you've got crossings out there. I don't cross things out. I get it right straight away. But you know why I was a little bit depressed? I actually said we was going to win this game 7-0.
I thought we'd win 3-0. I thought we'd
battle them. I really do.
Although you write songs and you write poems, I played the theme tune on the saxophone here. Listen to this.
You play what? Got it. You need to do a duet.
Be MIDI in terms of audio, but actually it's a real saxophone. So it's not just you guys that are telling.
I didn't hear that. Nothing come on my screen. Did they hear that?
They did hear that. Yeah, they heard.
You just muted me then.
I did mute you. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I don't know whether they actually heard anything. You could have just said, "This is what I do," and then literally shown them nothing.
Daniel, you're getting a lot of stick in the comments today, mate.
That's what I want.
Saying, why is Daniel so negative? Dan,
you mean my Daniel or this Daniel?
No, not Uncle Daniel. Toffee blue. Dan, when are you going to change the Twitter handle to make something that makes sense?
When am I going to what?
Toffee blue 1.
Well, it is actually.
It's like one of those things you stick on the toilet.
No, it's actually Toffee blue blood. It's Toffee. No, this is what it is.
It leaves a nice colour in the bowl, and you feel so
satisfied
when you flush it.
Do you know what? I've actually got loads of followers today. I had it as Toffee Blue Blood Army, but Twitter corrected it and put it Toffee Blue Blood 1. So obviously they know I'm number 1, so they've added a number 1 in it. But
why don't you
that must be the reason.
Chloe Blue Boy 1, yellow top.
Yeah, could change it that. I don't know what to change. You've got to keep it though. That's the thing, because you've got yours
up a little bit, hasn't it, now on the channel?
That's what I want. I want the channel to be more banter, fun, get people involved. We need to start. I'm going to start when Everton start playing. I'm going to start chucking things. I'm going to do like the Arsenal channel.
To do something when we draw and lose, because you do a dance when we win.
I'm going great. When we stay up, when we
lose a game.
You know what? Shall I just get my dog in here and we'll just talk with her? And yeah,
I've got my dog as well. Next time, what we'll do is we'll start with Ryan will have his cat. You get your dog. You get your dog, and I'll get my dog, and it'll just be 2 dogs and a cat on the channel. We'll just let them talk instead of us. They'll probably chat more sense.
It is quite funny when he comes and sits on the keyboard and some of those streams. I need to find it, but what was I going to say? Yeah, Jan. When Everton lose a game, what's going to happen with the poetry? And it was a shit performance, and I'm not looking forward to it, but I kind of am looking forward to it in a way.
Yeah, because despite the smiles and the laughter, I'm pretty sure that there's some anger bubbling away there. You know, this almost abusive relationship I've got with Everton, of where you sort of give it your all and you turn up, and then they just bend you over and go in dry. You know, sorry, it's maybe not channel appropriate.
When you get when you expect nothing, I mean, can you believe it? Making another debut. And right next to bang on cue, hasn't been on a stream in a while. but I think is about to disrupt potentially the live stream. It's when you get yourselves worked up for the game and expect to win, it kind of falls flat on its face as to happen tonight. And when you expect nothing, I suppose that's everything in life. You're left pleasantly surprised when you actually get something.
I was a little bit worried about this game because you know we've supported Everton a long time against weaker teams. When we have to take our game to another team, we don't know what our game is. That's what worries me.
Look at how we performed this season against the top teams compared to the teams that have been mediocre or have just been promoted, or
So with our players too much time on the ball, we don't know what to do. Where when we play the stronger teams, you don't get no time on the ball. You ain't got much time to think. So we counter-attack fast and we do what we can only do, and we get rid of the ball quick and move it about. And that suits us. That's our game. But when we play a team, and it's happened to us a couple of times where we need to go and play our game, we get confused and we don't know what to do. I think Lampard's got to get them on that training ground and really get them fizzing the ball really fast around the pitch and stuff like that, and get us moving so quick where teams just can't handle us because we know each other inside out and we pass the ball. It will come. Lampard, I honestly think that's a summer thing after you stay up, because Lampard will add players that have that can give us that edge of knowing what we're going to do on the attack and stuff like that. I think he'll already know that this is a weakness that he's got in these players.
Well, there's been a moment to that. There was even just one or two moments of that in the game, the little flicks and knowing where they're going to be and run to. Because I think, let's not forget that the team haven't gelled or haven't had the opportunity to gel properly for the last 18 months, with all the changes that have gone, and that not only the managerial changes, but the fact that certain players have been brought in. I mean, you could go back longer than 18 months and say we haven't had that sort of cohesion as a team, as having a core and a backbone besides Pickford. We haven't even had a set two centre-backs, that you'd rely on. I mean, think of, Jagielka was just phenomenal. You could put anyone next to him and he'd have that rapport just because of his deep understanding of the game. I mean, he's still,
No, you said, I think you've hit the nail on the head. You need footballers that have got the football brain that can literally. I think we missed a massive trick. I don't know what you're going to say on this, on not getting Eriksen. Eriksen for Brentford is exactly what we need. He's like a shark. He sniffs blood. He knows what to do.
Where we need
football brain. They do
the
stuff.
Dele Alli, Cahill position, exactly where we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the sort of play
where
that
we
needs centre attacking midfield. Sigurdsson, exactly, was that sort of play where he sits behind, and against the easier teams, they know what to do. That's when they thrive, and they'll put players in, and we needed that. But I do think that's the sort of player that we've got to sign in the summer. We haven't got. I said that we probably should have put Dele Alli in that position, but we don't even know if Dele Alli can play that position.
The perfect analogy, though, I think actually really was what Ancelotti said, that this group of players can't play. And what I mean by that was he knew that we were better off the ball. And we've seen it now on this list, these recent games. We're better when we don't have the ball. We don't have to do anything, and we wait for the teams to dictate, and we try and get something from the game. And tonight was a prime example of actually Everton having to actually try and dictate and force themselves on the game, and actually not knowing what to do, how to score, what was the style. We probably missed the problem. For me, I looked at that a little bit more tactically and thought, well, Decore needs to break from midfield, but actually if he does so, we're left with just one and then a line of five behind them. It doesn't really fit natural for me. I was also looking at the team, at the players that Watford had missing, and it does highlight really the disappointment, because that was a side that got relegated, and they still missed Keverly, Hernandez, and Sarr, and there's a list, Joshua King, obviously. So, if you can choose to get really hung up on the result and go, actually, it is a really bad result on paper. But I think Leeds, I can see them losing at home to Brighton, who are very good away from home. And I can see us beating Brentford. So let's try and stay positive. Thank you for all the wonderful comments. There are a few people that agree about Eriksen as well.
Yeah, see, they love me. They think I'm a bit moody this one, but still agree with
commented,
me.
I hope he subscribed. He's saying, he enjoyed his cameo, and he'll sort his wild hair out. That's fantastic. I didn't think
he loved it. He's famous now.
I thought it was great. And I'll tell you how many subscribers we're on now. We're on 1,075. So That's fantastic. Keep them coming. It's really difficult.
We're gonna go mad when we find out that we're up. We're gonna go mad on the channel, so we'll make it a little bit funny as well, I think.
Have we got anything else we want to add? I just want to also say thanks, Yandel, for giving an hour of your time. I know you enjoy talking about Everton, and you could sit for hours analysing it. It's therapeutic. And Dan, of course, as well. Always thank you for coming on and not being so positive tonight. It was a breath of fresh air. Guys, we're going to wrap things up unless you've got anything you want to add.
No, fantastic. Thank you again for having me. And on we go. We go again. Brentford Sunday. Bring it on up the Toffees.
Can I get a man of the match?
It won't be. It won't be.
It won't be.
No, it wasn't Dele Alli really. Man of the match for me. It's got to be Delph. 100% Delph.
Yeah, I think you.
I can't believe I'm saying Delph is man of the match because I tweeted probably last year saying
he wants you to tweet about that, mate. He wants you to rave about him because he wants a new contract. He wants.
Yeah, I did tweet.
It's a hyperbole.
I don't want to ever see him in an Everton shirt, but he's actually been good, hasn't he? He has been good.
But we have to be realistic tonight and look at that team that played, and most of them have been poor all season. So to go to Watford and still expect us to turn them over, I think.
Well, this is my positive now, Ryan. We beat Man U, we beat Chelsea, so this gives us a luxury of being able to draw this game and still being able to stay
better against the bigger teams. We always
so it's made it a bit more chill. So we could. I'm buzzing if we stay up still massive because let's get this right. If you got us on the channel a couple of games ago, we actually thought we was down when Burnley beat us in the point and we was in that relegation zone. A lot of us thought we could go down. So to be in this position now, we've got to be grateful where we're at.
And if that's the support at the away games, don't forget that the next 2 games are home.
Amazing. Can I ask you both, if Everton win, if Everton stay up on Sunday, how will you two react? What will you two do? And if Man City do win the league as well,
I'm getting an Everton tattoo. I can't believe that I do not have an Everton tattoo. And I've been speaking to a wonderful tattooist on Twitter who does some fantastic work, and he also does Everton tattoos. So I'll be going to visit him and getting that.
And if they go down, what will you do?
They're not going down.
Yeah, shut up, Ryan.
Shut up, mate.
Dan, what's your forfeit?
This is where I will step in. This is where I will step in and be positive.
Will you, if Everton stay up, will you wear that top for a week without washing it?
Ooh.
And show us every single day on Twitter, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Man City win the league. Okay, I'll make it hard. I'll make it
still, do you know what? This top, you say that though, it's still undefeated. We've won 2 and drew 1. That's not that bad, is it?
If Real Madrid win the Champions League, Everton stay up, and Liverpool lose to Chelsea,
I'm thinking,
lose the league, would you wear that for a month? If all 4 of those come off.
If there's people on the chat, I don't know how many people you got now, but we need to think of like a good forfeit for us to do when we stay up. You know what I mean? Like a pie faces on the channel or something like that. Just something crazy.
Would you do something stupid in a supermarket, maybe on a live stream?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. We need to do a pie face, or me just let my daughter cut my hair or something like that. We've got to do something. If we stay up, we've got to do something crazy. Just to get more subscribers.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? No one's going near my hair.
Well, yeah, no, I'll give my daughter the shavers. I'm crazy. You know what I'm like on Twitter. We've got to do something crazy if we stay up. We need some good suggestions.
If Everton stay up, Man City win the league, Chelsea win the FA Cup, and Real Madrid win the Champions League, which is the dream. What will you do? What will you commit for now for our 40 followers, 40 live watchers?
Ryan, do you know? I'll tell you a quick story. Do you know? I don't think I was following at this time because I didn't know you, which was unfortunate because you're top people. But when I was on Twitter when I first started, I said, if I get 100 likes, I'll go and buy 15 eggs, go down the beach and do headers with the 15 eggs. And I said I'll video record it, and it got 100 likes straight away. Of course it did. People wanted to see me header eggs, and I went down the beach and I got my partner to throw the eggs, and I headed them. I do good headers proper on the forehead, and the first one proper hurt, and it cut my head, and I thought I can't back down here. I've got to do eggs. I thought eggs would just crack and not hurt, but it turns out when you head at eggs are really hard and they do it. Yeah. So I headed all 15. I had a massive cut and egg going into my cut, and I got home and I said to my partner, I goes, if egg goes into your cook, can it poison you or anything like that? I got really
If it gets too hot, if it got too hot on the beach, it would cook inside you, mate.
Well, the video's on my Twitter somewhere, a bit back, but it cut all my head.
You need to see it.
Yeah, it cut all my head. I'll probably retweet it again.
Will you do that again if those?
No, I'm not. I learned not to do that. That was my point.
Would you ply yourself with a watermelon?
Well, I did. I've already jumped in the sea when we won one game and did cartwheels all the way into the sea, didn't I? So,
would you go to the Anfield Stadium and stink bomb it or something? Would you do something there?
It already stinks anyway, doesn't it?
You do realise that this is going to be recorded and kept on like YouTubers.
I don't think I've got to tell them what I did at Anfield once.
Oh no, not now. Hang on a second. I'll be back in a second.
I do want to know. We want to know. Oh, you can't dangle a carrot. Let's mute them. Let's mute them.
Oh.
I'll mute them, just in case he accidentally confesses to graffitiing or something. But I would really like to hear what Daniel did all those years ago. I'm sure there's a limit on when you can actually come back. Can we unmute you now?
Yes. Statute of limitations, I'm sure it's fine. I believe 1979, my dad broke into Anfield with some friends and had a game of football on the pitch and scored.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
That's what I like. We need to break in Anfield and actually get a referee to make the right decisions and video record it. All the decisions that we've had against us. I'm just going to pay a referee. What do referees charge? Like 25 quid? We'll get a referee and we'll have a game and get the referee to give all the decisions back that's been corrupt this season. That'll be a good one.
We need to break into Stockley Park VAR office and find out where that is. Follow someone in. And knock the VAR.
Do you know what we could do? We could all like make our own song and do a celebration sing song when we win, like proper get the microphone and go as a free, like, do you know what I mean? New band.
Just sit and have like a barbecue in front of the Dixie Dean statue.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
And on that bombshell, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. We've had Stevie with us. We've had the Everton Viking. And
I just took my headphones off and realised that I can't actually hear anything when I take my headphones off. It's late. See you later. Up the fucking Toffees.
See you later. Right, guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for us if you've enjoyed the stream. Much appreciated, and also be sure to share. I know a lot of you would have me sitting here all night giving player ratings. I think we've talked enough about the match, and we'll be back ahead of the Brentford game. I'll do a stream on Friday evening for you. Take care. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And to all you watching, thanks for your fantastic support. The thing is, Yandal's still there, and there's still 40 people sitting. And I don't know. I'm just thinking, why are one of these people? Surely they're in work. Why are they sat watching us at this time? There's nothing else to talk about, is there whatsoever?
I don't know. It's all the police that are off that are after me.
They're waiting for you. And if I don't speak to you beforehand, then make sure you enjoy Sunday. Let me know how you get on, and you can tell us all about it maybe ahead of the Palace game, if you fancy.
Yeah, I've got a poem ready to drop. Obviously, competition or anything like that. But we're all together now. Grand Old Team released an article today about the sort of crystallizing moment that there's to sort of turn the tide in our support and mentality. It referenced back to Wimbledon and 2-0 and Mike Walker, and it looked like it was on the up and we were on the down. And it is a good article, and I've actually got another poem ready to drop. That will be primed and ready for a home, for a Goodison Park airing, ready for people to sort of hear it and get fired up, because it's about Goodison, it's about the fans, it's about us moving forward to Bramley Moor. So
we need it over the Tannoy live at Goodison Park on Sunday before kickoff.
That would be delicious. Yeah.
Hopefully they can get you on the pitch at half time. Anyway, right, we are definitely going to wrap things up now. So take care. Thanks, Yandel. Speak to you soon, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button.
Thanks.